this is episode 2.
Well, no, this is... Oh, hey, it's my wife.
Oh, wow.
Wow, hey, honey.
What's it like, Brian, to have a wife that would watch?
It's really nice. It's really nice. Becky, thank you for...
Good for you.
Thank you for joining us. We just realized we did 45 minutes of not recording audio. It's my fault. It was my one response. Yeah, I had one job.
You had one job.
It's okay. So this next episode is now episode 20, whatever. So let's just start off by saying, hey, Ruben.
Hey, Ryan.
It's good.
Thanks for being here.
It's good to be here, Rube.
Thanks for coming by. As I was saying, your wife's on there, but I gotta say it feels good to have my sister-in-law on there as well.
My wife would be your sister-in-law.
That's right.
So welcome to Going the Distance podcast, everybody. This is episode 20-something.
20-something?
This is our live podcast recording of Going the Distance.
Mm-hmm. We're covering Rocky 2.
Last episode, we talked about the commercial.
Beast
Aftershave. If we're not able to salvage the audio from this recording that you're watching, sorry.
It's lost.
But let's just say this episode's going to be good. We're going to talk about what happened to Rocky after his failed commercial attempts.
All right.
Ruben?
Cue music.
Oh, wow. Ruben has one job. Ruben has one job to cue the music that I get to edit in. Wait. Where we last left off, Rocky failed at his Beast Aftershave time in the commercial world. Mm-hmm. He now is doing what we all dread to have to do.
Get a job.
Looking for work. Even Rocky had to look for work.
When was the last time you looked for work, Ryan?
I don't know why. It's so warm in here.
Yeah, here's the thing. My wife had some friends over tonight. It was a warm day, but she decided to build a fire. You know, had that crackling, romantic, thing going on. But now...
It's just glistening off my forehead.
Oh my gosh.
It's really glistening off your forehead.
Well, it's a shiny, beautiful thing.
So yeah, it's very warm in here. I'm also very nervous about our 3 viewers. So it's a lot to... I think one's Becky. Mm-hmm. One is Jason. And the mystery one, we don't know. Stand by, Ruben's just opening up some windows here. I feel really stupid about losing that audio on the first... We didn't check or anything. You know what? We're out of practice.
We are. It's like Mike Tyson when he fought Lennox Lewis. What was the guy that he lost to? That tubby guy.
Lennox Lewis, Chuck Wepner.
I don't know.
I was just joking.
But he was resting on his laurels.
We're like Mike Tyson. We bit off more than we could chew.
Oh, that was a good one.
Yes, thank you.
That was a good one. I knew a guy that was at that fight.
Yeah, we mentioned that in the previous podcast.
Oh, really? Yeah. All right. Did I mention that he was a childhood friend of Joe Pesci?
Yeah, we mentioned that too in the same podcast.
All right. So I'm just done name dropping then.
That's as far as we go.
Okay.
Welcome to Going the Distance podcast. This is episode 20-something. We're not too sure what. Thanks for going the distance. If you're a first-time listener, this is what we look like. If you're listening and not seeing this live recording.
If this is your first-time listener, this is what we look like.
Yeah. Okay, Ruth, if you were to describe me to our listeners, what would you say I look like?
I would say I don't know, a white male.
Thank you. All right,
a sexy white male.
I'm basically Ruben.
With hair?
With hair.
Youth. Less gray hairs.
Actually, I'm trying to get some.
Oh, really? You're a lighter kind of blonde. Oh, yeah. Good for you.
But, Ruben, you're a handsome man. Bald is beautiful.
It is.
So, basically, okay, this is Ruben's version of me. He's got a... Wow. This will not work for the audio.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay, so you stand by. Stand by. This is me as Ruben. All right, Ruben. Here's Ruben as Ryan.
Hey.
All right. Well, welcome to Going the Distance podcast. I'm your host, Ruben. Oh yeah, there you go. I'm your host, Ruben,
and I'm your host, Ryan. Go Navy.
Yeah, Ruben. I'm sorry, Ryan. I just want to say that I appreciate your service in the Navy. Wow, do I have a sultry face or something? So Ruben, that's Ruben's impersonating me.
Mm-hmm. I'll try to go thinner. You try to go fatter.
I don't know what else to say. I'm Ruben. My memory is immaculate.
Immaculate. It's very clean.
It's very clean.
What word were you trying to think? Because it's not immaculate. I have a very good memory, but just a small vocabulary.
All right. I can't.
All right.
I can't focus now.
Well, because those aren't prescribed to you.
All right.
This is who I really am.
Unlike presidential elect, be the real us, please.
Well, just so you know, if you want to ever borrow my toupee,
That's so gross.
It comes with a bear rug.
That is real hair, right?
It is real hair.
Okay. Seriously, that's gross.
Do you know what this costs? Like, I think it's like, I know it's over $1,000.
You should probably say for the record that is not. Though it's your toupee, it's not your toupee. You don't wear them. Please tell.
So for work, I decided to wear it for Halloween. For those listening, I'm just bald. Just picture bald guy. I'm bald, but I have this toupee of real human hair. For Halloween, I thought, okay, I'll wear this as like my Halloween costume. And people just like walked in and they just kind of looked at me. They didn't know what to think. And then I said to a regular customer, I said, "This is my Halloween costume." He goes, "Oh, I just thought you got a hairpiece." And I'm like, "No." And then I just took it off because it confused people.
That's so gross. That's so gross. Seriously, that's seriously gross. That's like literally. That's what you know. Okay.
When I put it on my wife, she looks like an '80s.
In fact, this is actually
cashier.
Okay. For toupee wearers, this is gonna be a horrible audio podcast. For toupee wearers, this is actually what they look like when they wear a toupee. Do you know what I mean by that? Like, oh, that's real. Yeah, my hair grows on my forehead. The thing about a toupee is a bad toupee. There's no such thing as a good toupee when you know it's a toupee. If that makes sense. So, if you can see that it's a toupee, it's a bad toupee. Here's the thing. I've never looked at anyone's toupee when I notice it's a toupee and say, "Hey, I can only imagine how ridiculous you look with a bald head. That on your head is so much better."
Oh. Look at. Sorry, we got a live comment here.
Oh.
Hi, it's me, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
I saw that comment already.
That she was...
Yeah.
Oh,
I apologize, Mom. I didn't call... we were in the middle of our shtick. Okay. Rocky's looking for work. Oh, you asked me when was the last time I looked for work.
Yeah.
Well, I've been in the military for 13 years. And so before I joined the military, I was going to school, going to college. I worked at a pizza place. During my first marriage, I had 2 kids. And we were, I was a starving student working at a pizza place, going to school. So that would have been the last job I actually applied for, with a resume. So that was...
How do you starve working at a pizza place? You think you'd be well fed.
You know what's funny? We loved it when a pizza order got wrong.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
Because when a pizza order got wrong, we wolfed on that pizza. Oh, man, it was good times. I have a couple friends on Facebook to this day who I met those many years ago.
Oh, really? Yeah? Still friends these days?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, it's kind of cool. Yeah, anyways, I actually liked working there in the sense, I liked working with the people. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing about being a pizza deliverer, is you're always received with joy.
Yes.
There's a party going on, it's a football game, hockey game, celebrations going on, and you've brought them their pizza. It smells good.
If you're on time, you're welcome.
Okay, I will assure you that the opposite is true. If the pizza is wrong, cold, or whatever, but that happens
But by and large, yes.
By and large, get one free.
Yeah, and if you get one free, you're going to be large.
By and large, you'll be large. Yeah, it was. Actually, I actually liked it. The job satisfaction was high. The pay was low.
I did pizza delivery, but sadly, I guess I did it in my 30s.
I was close. I actually joined the military late. I joined at 27. So I was a pizza deliverer from the age of 24 to 27. It seemed old at the time, but now it seems young.
You always think you're old until you get old.
Yeah.
And then that's when you know that back then you weren't old. But now you are.
You are old.
And yeah, if you're older than us, you're probably very old.
So yeah, that was the last time I kind of pounded the pavement. It's a fear that I have in the back of my head. It's because I have a large family, I have a few kids to feed and mortgage to pay and gas to pay. Being in and out can be stressful sometimes. So the idea of looking for work, I'm grateful for the military in many ways because it's provided me job security and they're gonna have to kick me out, which may happen. No.
I'm happy to hear that, Ryan.
I'm happy. You're happy. Thank you.
Being of service.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Rocky, I love the suit that Rocky wears for these interviews. He's wearing this big blue, speaking of navy, a really light navy blue. See if you can find that on there. Our live listeners can listen to this or see it.
Sure.
It's like this big, huge. I mean, the 1970. This is 1979. This is the peak of fashion, right? So he's got the big collar. He's wearing a black shirt underneath, and I'm describing this for our audio listeners. He's wearing a black shirt underneath, and he's got the gold chain on his wrist. He's got a spike bracelet.
That's one of those like fashion choices where like the man really likes it, but the spouse is like, don't wear that.
Oh yeah, this is where Adrian tells him, "Don't leave the house like this."
Yeah.
Yeah, Jason, we're still here. We're still going the distance. We're recording our second episode. We're doing a 2-for-1. This is a 2-for-1 live podcast.
Twofer. Like when we did 2-for-1 deliveries for pizza.
Yeah.
Not seeing the suit.
Go Rocky 2.
I did, brother.
Job interview. I have to do everything around here.
No, I'm doing the typing, and I'm spelling it wrong. But thankfully, Google knows.
This can't be that hard to find.
But even better, let's take a look here. His high school thing.
Well, here's Sylvester Stallone in his high school yearbook.
Michael Stallone?
Maybe it was a middle name. Let's take a look. So he goes to the first person interviewing. This, I want to talk about this a little bit, Ruben, because he's looking for an office. Oh, wait. Whoop. Hold the press. Before he goes to the job interview, he starts reading with Adrian on the bed.
Yes.
He's reading to Adrian on the bed. I think it was a Louis L'Amour. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Louis L'Amour, Western novels. He's reading really monotone, and it's no matter how many times I've seen the movie Rocky 2, it's still a hard scene to get through because it's so monotone. Like, he does such a good job acting as a monotone reading that he's just reading. It's boring in the sense like, yes, he's reading monotone to his wife. And good old Adrian, patiently listening, letting him read, to practice his reading.
It's no time to cuss me, snarled the robber. By God, fellas, grab your rifles and take cover. How's that sound?
It's good.
Yeah? No, being a good reader is going to help me get a good office job, you know. Want to hear some more?
I can't wait.
Okay. There ain't no cover, Smokey, said Brad Lincoln. We better head for the canyon.
You read nice.
Thank you. You lie nice.
Thank you.
And he's like, "Does it sound good?" And she goes, "Yeah." And he goes, "Well, you lie good, you know." But then he says something that's kind of sad. He says, "You know, if I learn how to read good, I'll get a good paying office job." So this is 1979. I know this was a different. Yeah,
It's those things where it's like...
and this is the beautiful thing of Stallone. Stallone wrote this.
I know.
So he writes this scene as a writer. So
Yeah.
we know that, of course, that Stallone is very articulate, very, smart as far as screenwriting goes. He can write this dialogue. He can act this. So he's writing for this character saying, Rocky believes.
I know.
This is Rocky. This is where Rocky's heart.
I need to brush up my reading skills. Then
Yeah.
I'll be in the office.
Yeah.
I'll be talking to the water cooler.
I can.
I'll be inside, not working outside.
Can you imagine the alternative Rocky universe where Rocky got tired at the first office job? Hey, Rocco, go get me some copies. Oh, yeah, right away there, sir. Yeah, so he goes over and gets the copies. Hey, Rocco, we got a business meeting in 5 minutes, and make sure you come take some notes. Rocky's sitting there taking...
I feel so much pain in my heart just picturing this.
Hey, Rocky, what was last week's minutes? Can you imagine the Rocky character trying to conceptualize the business world?
Yes. Office politics.
Office politics, yeah. He is wearing the nicest suit of his life. He probably bought that suit specifically for the job search. He's wearing
Dressed for the job that you want.
Dressed for success. Roxette.
Do you still listen to Roxette?
Have I ever stopped? That's
Well, that's what I'm asking.
There are two great bands that came from Sweden.
Oh, really?
ABBA
Okay.
and Roxette. And both of them really pride themselves in the male-female combination of singing.
Well, they're very into equality over there.
Yep.
So kudos to them for that.
Google Swedish woman.
I have a hard time with an artist. It doesn't matter if they're an actor or a musician. If I don't relate enough, that I don't believe them. You know what I mean? Like,
I believe Roxette.
You do?
What
I guess you have that blonde Swedish thing going.
What are we supposed to believe, though? I don't understand what we're supposed to believe.
For example, how much is Bono worth?
He's priceless.
No, seriously, net worth.
I mean, he's probably 400 to 500 million.
Okay, I think he's close to 800. Okay, so when you have somebody like that wealthy,
Right.
writing about,
Dress for success, man.
it's just like, I have a hard time like relating to the lyrics and the headspace. Like, it doesn't resonate anymore.
Right.
Like when Guns N' Roses did Appetite for Destruction, it was for every low-life wannabe teenager. What I say low-life, but I mean that in the sense of
Down on their luck.
Yeah.
Clawing at the mean streets.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah, right.
it was just relatable. But then you get to like, at some point, it becomes less relatable.
Right.
And so with Rocky, you relate to the character, you relate to the actor, but if you don't relate to him, you're gonna have a hard time with the art.
Right.
I don't know. Doesn't mind making any sense, or you just want to move on?
Well, no,
You want to move on?
I'm still going to listen to Roxette.
I'm just saying with Roxette,
It's fun music. It's totally just for fun music. It's escapism. Do Roxette net worth. That's fine.
3 million.
That's right, man.
Wow, that's better than me.
It's better than me.
Better than probably both of us combined, and everybody listening.
Yeah. That's just a really sad scene to me when he tells Adrian
Yeah.
if he's reading a Western novel, 600 million, by the way, Bono. Okay, scene. He's reading a Western novel, and hey, look, I wish it was that easy to get a job. Read Louis Lamar Western novel, and you're going to get a good paying office job.
Yeah.
Here's the funny thing: the next scene is we see Rocky now going office looking for work. How many novels did he read? Like, I wonder at what point Rocky thought, "Hey, I've read enough novels. I've read enough Western." You know, like I wonder at what point he said, because that conversation was never filled. But he goes, Adrian, got my suit. I've read to you all week.
Yes.
I better go out and hit the pavement. Bless his heart, he went out there and he hit the pavement. He talks to the first guy, and the guy says to him, he goes, "How much education do you have?" And he's like, 9th grade. That's as high as he went. The guy goes, "Do you have a criminal record?" And Rocky goes, "Do you remember what he said?"
I don't remember in it.
He says, nothing to brag about. Can you imagine doing that in a job interview? Nothing to brag about. So yes, I have a criminal record, but it's probably just for silly stuff. Like, who knows what he did?
I had a job interview. Hopefully it doesn't get too down on anybody. But anyways, at a job interview, they asked, "What was the hardest thing you've gone through?" And they were referencing work, of course.
Oh, work related.
I said, burying my grandpa earlier this year. And there's like this awkward moment. And I was like, "Oh, you meant like regarding like my work experience?" He's like, "Yeah."
You could have said that you're a caretaker, that you worked at the funeral home.
Yeah,
You should have just said.
I should have said that, but I was like, "Hey."
But you missed that opportunity.
I did.
Okay.
Also had a job interview.
Oh.
Where the interviewer fly was like gaping open wide. And I forget what the job was for, but I said, "Hey, by the way, your fly is wide open. I want to zip that up." I did not get that job.
No?
No.
The guy before you got the job.
I don't get it.
Hey, somebody laughed! Thank you. Oh, we lost a viewer too. Somebody laughed at my blue joke there, and we lost a viewer at the same time. Then the interviewer says, "I read somewhere that you were a good fighter. Why don't you go fight?" And then Rocky goes, "I was kind of hoping to have a job like you sitting down." I wondered about this, like where Rocky felt at this time. He's 31 years old. Mm-hmm. I guess he's been active his whole life. He's been sparring in the ring. He's been jogging. He's been working the docks. I don't know what else he did before the docks. Does Rocky really want a desk job? It seemed odd for his character to say, "I want to sit down like you are for the rest of my life."
Well, I think it's a self-esteem issue. He wanted to be known for his brains.
Sorry, Rocky. If intelligence was measured by the size of your heart, Rocky would have been Stephen Hawking. If Stephen Hawking was in the ring, that's the thing, is that we're all different skills. And Rocky's skill was his love, his compassion, his heart, and like the guy said, I read somewhere, you're a pretty good fighter.
Yeah, I can see that. I remember when our father works in construction. He had a coworker or somebody out there, whatever, who I think is like age 40 or probably like close to my age, joined Canadian Forces, joined the military. And everybody thought he was like crazy for doing that. Yeah, he just wanted to get out of the rain.
Right. It's funny that you bring that up. When I joined, when we were talking earlier, that I was working at a pizza place when I joined the military. And I remember I got the message that, hey, your resume or your application's been accepted. Your basic training starts whenever. So I had to tell the head cook that I'm leaving to go to a job where I would get a pension, holiday time, and vacation time, all this stuff. Mm-hmm. And I told the cook, like, okay, I've given you my 2 weeks because I'm joining the military. And his look at me was like, I'm like, I'm sorry, am I supposed to stay at this pizza place? And this is no offense to him, but if he's happy, like like I said, I actually enjoyed working there, but it wasn't providing what my family needed. So it wasn't about quitting because I wasn't happy there, but I needed something to provide for my family.
You're a quitter, I guess, Ryan.
I'm a quitter. Mm-hmm. But the scoff that he gave me is like, I'm sorry, do you ever get that when, and I know a lot of, I hate to say low-level jobs, but a lot of low-level jobs, they seem to act that way when somebody kind of finds something better for themselves, that like, oh, you're just going to leave me here and go find,
Yep. Sour grapes.
In fact, people treat people in the military that way sometimes. I've seen it when they get out of the military.
Oh, yeah.
People voluntary release because it didn't work out for them, which is totally fine. Mm-hmm. And they want to go find a different job that makes them happy or just to take a different perspective out of life. And I always say to them, good. Go do that which makes you happy. You don't have to stay in. It doesn't matter. Then we see him in the unemployment lineup. The guy says to him as well, wouldn't you be better off with some high-paying menial job? So basically saying, use your strength to dig ditches.
Yeah.
And Rocky's face was like, I don't want to do that. Mm-hmm. After his failed attempts trying to get a job in an office, we see him washing his dog. And he's having a heart-to-heart with Buckus in the bathtub. And he's saying to Buckus, I need to get a job. We have a kid on the way. Because remember, Adrian's pregnant right now. Mm-hmm. And I need, he's thinking like a family man, thinking like a provider. Yeah. I need to find work for my pregnant wife.
Why would she need work?
Well, she will get a job. We don't want to spoil that, but
you said
I know. I need to get a job for my pregnant wife. For my pregnant wife, I got to find her a job.
She's not working, pulling her own weight.
So he's having a heart-to-heart with Buckus in the tub, saying, "I got to find work to take care of my family." And you can see that he's kind of talking himself into the idea like this office job is not working. He kind of sees the writing on the wall that nobody's hiring me, and paycheck needs to come in. Mortgage. Remember, they bought that house that had solid oak floors, solid.
Yeah.
So he gets a job at the meat factory. I will just say this about the meat factory. This is a real meat factory. This is Shamrock Meats. So what I loved about this is Paulie gets him the job. Or Paulie at least lines him up with Frank. What do you call it? The owner, not the owner, but the operator, the guy, manager, the guy that does the hiring. Hey, Alex has something to say here. Hey, Alex.
Alex, hey.
How you doing?
Favorite scene in Rocky is when Duke tells Creed to go another direction than fighting Rocky again.
He's all wrong for us, baby. I saw you beat that man like I never saw no man get beat before, and the man kept coming after you. And we don't need that kind of man in our life. I know what you're feeling. Let it go. Let it go. You're the champ.
Yeah. It's a great scene in Rocky.
You want to duke it out?
Yeah. So that was played by Mr. Tony Burton. Tony Burton was the actor that played, may he rest in peace, played Duke, the trainer. He goes, so you got to stay away from him. He's not good for us. That was a great scene. I love that scene. And you see Apollo like looking at him like, yeah, like he's listening. Mm-hmm. And then they think they've done what they're supposed to do, to convince Creed not to fight Rocky again. And then, of course, Apollo Creed says, okay, we need to humiliate this guy. We need to go after him every which way. And it's a great scene, and we're gonna talk we're gonna talk more about that scene in our next episode, which will not be today. So thanks, Alex. That's awesome. Thanks for your input.
Hey, I just clicked on Alex. Seahawks.
Hey,
Seahawks is our because we don't have a football team in Victoria or Vancouver or British Columbia. They're our home team.
Yeah, Alex, we're in Victoria, British Columbia, right above you. Seattle, it's a great city. I've seen a lot of good concerts down there. I lived out in Washington State for a few years in the military, worked with the Americans. Good stuff. Welcome. Now we're in the meat factory. So he gets the job. Frank, I believe the guy's name was Frank. Frank tells Rocky, hey, you can start working today. Go Hawks. Yeah. I'm not a football fan, but sure, let's do it. They won the Super Bowl a couple years ago, right? Paulie then tells Rocky, hey, you're welcome for getting the job, for me getting the job. And then Rocky says, well, thanks for saying thank you for the watch I gave you. So good old Paulie there. Like, he's such a conflicting character. You know, you know, Rocky's done so and will do so much for Paulie. So yeah, in this moment, this is kind of...
Well, Rocky's like your pizza boss.
Well, here's the thing. Rocky 2 is Paulie's peak.
Peak of what?
His life. This is the skinniest,
okay.
most healthy Paulie's ever been as a character, was Rocky 2. Paulie's running the docks. Mm-hmm. He's giving Rocky the job. So in Paulie's eyes right now, he's taking care of Rocky. He's kind of taking care of Rocky, who's taking care of Adrian. So now he's like, you know, I'm the guy. We see later that Paulie buys Rocky's car when times get rough. So Paulie's kind of taking over the, I've got my life together. Rocky, you need some help? I'll get you a job. Rocky, you need me to buy your car? I'll buy your car.
Yeah, I think that kind of shows the heart of Paulie. He wants to provide. He wants to do those things. You know?
He does, but his...
Ego.
The desire is there, but he doesn't have the heart of Rocky.
Yeah, I think maybe just maybe more the credit than the desire to help. I don't know. What do you think?
The meat factory is actually a really interesting sequence of events. The meat... Go back and watch that. There's 2 meat montages. Here's a movie that's already kind of... Okay, we've talked about Rocky 2. Rocky 2, I think, is the longest of all the Rocky movies.
Him pounding the meat?
This is not him pounding the meat. This is him... No, this is him actually slapping the meat. I actually want to talk about that. Okay, go back and watch the Rocky meat slapping session. I'm not even joking here. You know. Okay, there's two meat montages. I call them the meat montages. There's 2 of them. There's 2. There's the first day on the job. Okay. There's 2 meat montages. So Stallone thought the meat montage was so important that he had to write 2. So he's the writer-director of this movie, right? Mm-hmm. Rocky 2 is the longest movie of all the Rockies. Stallone thought it was important enough to show Rocky just working in the humdrum of life. So he's working at this meat factory. You see him stacking boxes. You see him lugging the meat around. Mm-hmm. And then you see him taking when the meat's up on the hooks. Yeah. The big, like just that...
Hulk of
this big
carcass
of this is a dead cow. Basically, it's a dead cow with no with no legs, no head, nothing, right? And then he takes. He takes. Do you remember the scene where he takes that? What do you call that? Anyone there that's working the meat joint? Mm-hmm. He takes that white.
Yeah.
What is that white wet slab of blanket or whatever it is?
Yeah.
I find that scene both disgusting and cathartic at the same time because
cathartic. Okay. Disgusting we get.
Okay, I don't know. The reason why I find it cathartic is because I'm a bit OCD.
Okay.
So I can see myself doing this. He takes the meat or whatever that is. He takes the meat. He takes this like wet blanket thing, puts it over top of the meat, and then he slaps it, and then moves on to the next one. Takes that blanket thing, puts it around that big carcass of meat. He slaps it again.
Okay.
So and in the movie, that slapping sound, I love. I love that.
It's kind of how it's made. Shows.
So we'll actually show it on the video here, and we'll edit this. We can't edit. Actually, this is all visual here. So those are actually watching live. Oh wait, you gotta go back. Oh, that's okay. That's him coming home. Yeah. Okay. All right. So there's 2 meat montages. The first one is him with the first day on the job. So we just described that, and then he gets home. He gets home from work on his first day, and Adrian's there to greet him. The reason why she knows to come out to greet him is because he hits the garbage can with his car.
Yeah.
So Adrian comes out, and she's asking, how was your first day at work? And she goes, oh, you look tired.
It's the best looking thing I've seen all day.
You look tired.
No, my face is tired. I feel okay.
You want to take a hot bath?
Oh, come on, that's the dynamic, honest. Hey, listen, tomorrow, Just thinking, it'll work. Maybe after work I'll take you out. Want to do something nice, huh? Want to do that? I like to do that. How's your stomach? All right. You look great. You know that?
And Rocky, forever doesn't want anyone to be concerned about it. Says, well, no, my face looks tired, but I feel great. I feel fantastic. He says, why don't we go on a date tomorrow night after work? I'll take you out. We'll do something nice. Then we go to the next montage of meat. It wasn't enough that we had a meat montage scene. We get one 30 seconds later, meat montage 2. But this one's a little bit sadder because at the end of this meat montage, Frank lets him go. Rocky goes, well, why are you letting me go? I've worked really hard. And Frank's like, well, I know you are a hard worker, but your seniority, we got to let people go. And then Rocky says, can I just work, I'll take less money. I think it shows, one, the desperation that he has to provide for his family. And he's like, you can't do that. Union rules. And Rocky goes, union rules.
Let me, Frank.
I gotta let you go.
Oh, go on. I'm working hard. I'm doing good.
Yeah, real good, but we gotta cut back on manpower and you ain't got enough time in, Seniority.
Really, how about if I take a cut and pay, all right?
Can't do it. Union rules.
Can I finish out today?
Sure. Rocky, I'm sorry.
Yeah, me too.
Here's a little bit of trivia. The guy that plays Frank, he's quite a big, large... I'll give you a second to think about it. He's been in another Stallone movie, and it wasn't a Rocky movie. It was one of Stallone's most underrated films, I think, of all time.
Really? Stop or Mom Will Shoot?
I don't think Stop or My Mom Will Shoot was underrated.
Oh.
I think it was rated.
You think it got Dust is?
I think Stop or My Mom Will Shoot was rated. I saw that in the theaters, by the way.
I did too.
Yeah. You know what's funny?
Seinfeld's funny.
Seinfeld's funny. I'm such a Stallone fan that I walked away from that movie still thinking, I had fun.
Well, when you like somebody and you can relate to them, you're able to go on that journey with them. That's what I was trying to say earlier. I don't relate to Roxette. I can't go on that joyride. That was a reference.
That's a reference to Joyride.
Joyride.
Look, I know Stop or My Mom Will Shoot it's a terrible film in every which way that's supposed to be. But when I saw it 90, 89, 90, whatever it was, I didn't leave the theater miserable. I was like, oh yeah, it was corny fun. His name is Frank McRae. He plays Frank in Rocky 2.
Oh, he was in Lockup, eh?
Yeah, that's the movie. Frank McRae was a football player. His name in Lockup was Eclipse because he's a big man. And so, of course, he's Eclipse the sun, right? So he did a great job in an underrated film called Lockup. If you haven't seen Lockup, and I'm surprised you haven't since you're Stallone fans, Lockup is a great, great film. I actually really like it. Donald Sutherland's in it. Yeah, it's a good film.
He's also been in Rockford Files.
So he's in Rocky and the Rockford Files.
So he's into rock.
He's been
Hill Street Blues, Red Dawn, 48 Hours, The Twilight Zone, License to Kill, Another 48 Hours,
Loaded Weapon 1,
Last Action Hero.
Wow.
That was my first time being disappointed in Schwarzenegger. Last Action Hero. Good soundtrack.
Yeah, Last Action Hero could have been better. So I actually did reach out to Frank as well. I reached out to Frank.
Okay.
I tried to reach out to Frank because he's thankfully still with us.
Oh.
Well, you have to keep in mind, 1979 was almost
40 years ago.
Yeah, it was 38 years ago. So some of the people that we try to reach out to, be interviewed for this podcast, aren't alive anymore. It's amazing how
Maybe
many
we should
are.
reach out with the medium.
It goes without saying, Ruben, and we meant to talk about this before, I think. And I think we were to do this every episode, but we haven't. We want... People have talked to me, like I have friends at work who know I do the podcast, and they say, are you going to interview Stallone? Like it's just a given.
Oh, you like to go for hikes? Are you going to do Everest?
Right. That's just it. Do you like how... Yeah. Great analogy. I don't know if I can top that.
Everest is the tallest mountain, Ryan.
Excuse the pun. I don't know if I can top that analogy. That's right.
Yeah, that was a reference.
I don't know.
Is this on?
Yeah, so it goes without saying that we'd love to interview Stallone. Yeah, I'm sure he's one
You
of
know
our...
what? I'm pretty flexible. If he wants to interview us, that's okay too.
The majority of our listeners in the States are from California.
What you're saying is that he listens.
He is a California resident.
We have a confirmation now that Stallone, Stallone is a listener. My brother Jason said, yes, sadly, it's on.
Yeah, Jason did say that our microphone sadly was on. So to answer people's questions, have we tried? We actually haven't directly asked Stallone to be on this podcast, to be honest with you. What we've done is we've had interviews. If you go back to our podcast, we have interviewed some great people who have all themselves have had interactions with Stallone, like in real life interactions with him. We're trying to, not to say build a resume ourselves, but it's not about just getting Stallone on the podcast. We want to treat every movie and every person who's involved as much as we can with the proper respect they have. It's not just about getting Stallone on. It's about talking about the great movies that Stallone has given us. Maybe if we build enough of a catalog and get more than 5 listeners, maybe he'll come on.
Well, I think the magic number is 7, 8, because that's how many Rockies there are.
There's 7 Rockies, yeah.
Yeah, but also just talking to people that have had dealings with the Rocky franchise.
That's right.
We
want to hear older stories.
Yeah. Like we were talking about the boy that's running.
Again, if anyone from Pennsylvania knows of anybody that was one of the kids running with Rocky in Rocky 2, because I would love to know how they got the kids all together. Mm-hmm. How long did they run for? No offense to Stallone, they didn't run the whole time. They had to take breaks and film different scenes, different parts. It'd just be cool to hear how that was filmed. And okay, kids, you jump in here now. This is where you come in now. What a time that must have been for those kids, because Rocky was the biggest thing back then, next to Star Wars, I guess. But so we're gonna finish up this episode with just finishing up these commercials. Boy, I'm tired. With Rocky looking for work, he just got laid off from the meat factory. You can only imagine, spoiler alert, where this might go.
He's got pushed into a corner.
Yeah.
He's got his back against the ropes.
His back's against the ropes. He's been pushed in the corner.
Mm-hmm. I think this adds context or character or backdrop to his actual character. He's not really wanting to beat people to a pulp. Doesn't really exactly have the eye of the tiger to fight, more of the eye of the tiger to make something of himself.
Well, and he actually says to the interviewer, when they said, I heard you're a good fighter, why don't you fight? And his response was, well, when you've been punched in the face 500 times in a night, it starts to sting after a while.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's like...
Well, that's why you look for a different job. That's why anybody looks for a different job, is because what they're doing is take a toll on their body and their soul.
Well, Ruben, we did a double episode live recording.
Wow. Ding.
Whoa. You just about dinged before that is
premature ding.
I mean, yeah, the episode's over, but we haven't wow. This is
abrupt. Well, sometimes when you're watching a show and you're like, how are they going to end this? And then it's like, oh, it's to be continued. I'm gonna have to, that's how you binge watch or binge listen.
Well, we appreciate those who've gone the distance with this episode.
Mm-hmm. Whoever left their laptop.
This is what you're supposed to do. So, and I would like to make one last shout out because I want to get this on audio.
Aight.
You can download every single episode we've done on any podcast app on your Samsung phone, Google phone.
Samsung?
Windows.
Samsung.
Oh. Samsung?
Yeah, Samsung. Samsung.
So let me start that again. Okay, boy, this is... Okay, so I want to make this clear because I feel like people don't know this, but they should know this. Here's the thing. We're not trying to sell anything.
No.
No
Beast deodorant.
No, we're not Beast aftershave. We don't want to sell it to you. Shamrock Meats, we don't want to sell it to you. We just want people to know that if you're a podcast listener, great. And if you're a Rocky fan, great. So those things combined is all we're providing. So again, all of our episodes you can download for free on any podcast app. You can stream from our site. You can stream from us. You just Google. In fact, if you just Google Going the Distance, the Rocky Series podcast, it'll come up with all the different ways you can download, stream us, listen to us. And now you get to look at us too if you want, unedited. This live podcast will be divided in 2. And yeah.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for going this distance with us. And until next time, ding ding.
Seriously, how do you turn this off again, right? But...